Oh, hi everyone. How are you all doing? Why, I'm just going for a little bit of a stroll in my new office. Leg room. Look at all this leg room. Oh yes. Okay, so we have upgraded a couple of updates. First, we have upgraded from Chair Sama level 1 to Chair Sama level 2. Oh yes. This one is more office-y. Yes, I will start a new running gag on this channel. You know I will. In every episode, God help me, I will be sitting in a different chair. All the different kinds of chairs. Oh, it swivels! All the different kinds of chairs that exist in this world. I will conquer them all. Well, maybe not for, a while yet. I don't know if that's in the budget at the moment. But I do have this. I do have this office chair. This will probably be the chair that I'll have for a little while. I might upgrade to Chair Sama level 3, which that might, rip a hole in the fabric of the universe, so hold tight on that. I also built this last night. I have some... Actually, you know what? This, all these bandages and these cuts and stuff, that's actually not from this. I was assembling another shelf upstairs today for all my DVDs and my video games and stuff, and I was like in the middle of assembling it, and I just looked down at my hands, and they were all scratched to holy hell, and I was like, oh, okay, and yeah, but this one actually, I was worried. I thought this was going to take the longest to put together. This did not, I mean, it took a little while, but, I was able to get it done with really no problems whatsoever, and it fit a lot more manga than I thought it would. Now, I couldn't fit all my manga on here. Unfortunately, One Punch Man and Soul Eater, I have like the whole collections of those. Those did not fit on this shelf, unfortunately. I was putting, this entire section here is just One Piece. God, Oda, I love the man. He's amazing, but man, I'm putting all those mangas up last night. I'm just like, wow. I kind of wish One Piece was only like a 70-volume series. I mean, I don't, but in that instance, I kind of do. You know what I mean, right? Remember back when Oda said that, his series was only going to last, like, 5 years? It was supposed to end, like, I don't know, actually, I don't know how you could cram this entire story in 5 years. Maybe he planned to just end it after Alabasta. I don't know, but, yeah, so... this is the one shelf. I'm looking into another one that I'm probably going to put in that corner over there. Don't want to cover up any of the outlets. I got my Barry mobile over there. Thanks, Maggie. The person that made that was the same person that made the suit for Barry. Also, I got an amazing idea from one of my fans yesterday. They suggested, why don't you just build Barry like a backdrop here, like a little mini backdrop and a desk, and you could have Barry basically being like a late-night talk show host. And I could use all my different pop figurines and figures. This sounds very sad as I'm describing it to you, but it's a cool idea, right? Right? Like, I could do that. Like, today, Barry is interviewing Nico Robin, or whoever else, like Rukia, or the Cocaine Grenade, The Cocaine Grenade, which is probably the single most delicate thing that I own, and my mother, when I was moving, actually had to hold this in the car the entire way, because even wrapping this up with, like, bubble tape or putting it in a box, like, even by itself, very, very delicate. When a fan shipped, this is from the One Piece D&D, in case you have no idea what the hell this even is. It's like, why do you have a grenade? It's Cocaine Grenade. Go to Two Spooky's channel and talk about it, okay? Anyway, yeah, so my mom had to hold this the entire way to make sure it didn't collapse, but, here we go. There you go. Today's special guest is Cocaine Grenade there next to Barry. Yeah, that's a great idea. We can get like a little, because they make miniatures. They make miniature desks for modeling and everything like that. So I can get a little talk show desk for Barry. I can get like a little backdrop back here, like in late night, like with Craig Ferguson, the Late Late Show. Remember that? That was probably the best late show I've ever watched in my life. I love Craig Ferguson when he hosted it. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So this is where we're at right now, and considering Robin is here, I made a video on Frankie yesterday. I felt like, well, let's just keep it going, my two favorite Straw Hats are Frankie and Robin is pretty relevant right now in the story, so let's get into that. Okay, so Nico Robin is truly the key to everything. Everything will coalesce at Robin. Let's just be straight up here, okay? I know everybody loves the Straw Hats in general. They're a great group. They have a lot of personality, okay? I get it. But let's just be straight up here. Robin is the most important Straw Hat. I mean, even if you think like, oh yeah, but Luffy's gonna be king of the pirates. Yeah, well, how's he going to get there if you need the road poneglyphs? Zoro's gonna be the greatest swordsman in the world. Yeah, I know. Robin, though, is just, she's the most important one. She, and she alone, has the knowledge and the skills to unlock the history of the entire world of this story. And some characters like Zoro and Luffy, they don't care about the Void Century. They care about Robin's dream to learn about the Void Century, but Luffy's not sitting around like, they keep mentioning that Joy Boy character. I wonder who that is. You know, they don't care about that. But Robin does, and Robin, like, as was mentioned by Rob Lucci last time, like an order from above, which, considering he's a member of CP0 now, that order from above has to be from, you know, the Gorosei, or possibly even Eam, or Eam, you know, relaying it to the Gorosei, therefore relaying it to Rob Lucci. Also, forgot to bring up Kong. Do not forget about Kong, not the Pan World Fleet Admiral. That was like a mistranslation. That Commander-in-Chief. That was, yeah, the World Government Commander-in-Chief Kong. He's like the third most important person. It goes Eam as like the single most important, and then the Gorosei, and then there's Kong, who basically is like the highest level of the government that you could pretty much talk to. Okay, and he kind of controls the Marines, the Warlords, and the Cypher Poles. Okay, so perhaps it was Kong as well that gave Rob Lucci his orders, but Kong takes his orders directly from the Gorosei, so, you know, it's whatever. But, yeah, so Rob Lucci received 2 orders that he was relaying to the CP0 agents in Wano last chapter. One order was, doesn't matter really how this battle ends, but, you know, if the Straw Hats in the rebellion do happen to defeat Kaido, we're going to forcibly open Wano up, you know, and it's going to join the world government, pretty much whatever they like it or not. You know, the world government's going to make that happen, okay? The other order that they received is, capture Nico Robin, you know, at all costs, okay? She has to be alive as well. Now, I love this because I love Robin. She's great. I mean, she's fantastic, right? But I love this because, you know, Enies Lobby was a very, very long time ago in this story. But that entire arc was based on the idea that Nico Robin has this knowledge and the world government wants to capture her for said knowledge to read the poneglyphs and everything like that. But after Enies Lobby, the Straw Hats, they fight tooth and nail in order to get her back. They, in the wake of it, they didn't directly cause it. That was actually Spondum that, you know, pushed the golden transponder snail. But, you know, because of the Straw Hats' interference, I guess the way Spondum spun it was like, oh yeah, it was because of the Straw Hats, and it was because of the CP9. They're the ones that caused me to press the button, you know, or whatever, he said to the world government. But after the events of Enies Lobby, you know, the world government really hasn't directly came after Robin since then. And that was a very long time ago. Like, in the story, it was over 2 years ago, but in terms of, like, you know, reading it, the fan base, oh my god, that was well over a decade ago, probably like 13, 14 years ago, Enies Lobby was, right? That was back before I was even watching One Piece weekly. I started watching One Piece, it was right around Sabaody is when I started watching the anime, Sabaody Archipelago arc. Anyway, so if you think about it, though, it does make sense why the world government did not go directly after Robin right after Enies Lobby, right? Okay, Enies Lobby ended, and the Straw Hats managed to get away with her, the tearful goodbye of the Going Merry. Why didn't the government or the Marines go right to Water 7? It's like, hey, we still want Nico Robin. We're not just going to let her go. Yay, you blew up the Judiciary Island and you went back to Water 7. That's great. We're the world government. We have eyes everywhere. We're going to find her and we're going to bring her into the custody of the world government, right? So there's a reason why they didn't do that. Right after Enies Lobby, you got to remember, the world started to speed up in a big way. Most notably, Blackbeard captured Ace. He got brought to Marineford. He got brought to Impel Down, and then Marineford, his execution was scheduled. The Marines and the world government had way more on their hands right now than trying to find Robin. It was kind of put off the back burner for right then, because now it's like we have to worry about a potential war with one of the Yonko plus all of the crews that allied with Whitebeard. You know, and Whitebeard's crew is, you know, pretty strong in and of itself. So they were way more worried about Marineford. After Enies Lobby, you had, you know, Thriller Bark, where everything was kind of building. Thriller Bark was a little bit more of an isolated one, but then right after that, we get to Sabaody, and it was very apparent that, like, the world was on a train that was going to crash eventually at some point, right? So Marineford happens, obviously, and the government is devastated, and they have to rebuild, and they're not really in the mood at that point to launch any other big expeditions, especially since, you know, Aokiji and Akainu, they both fought. Akainu managed to become the next fleet admiral, and Aokiji defected, so they had to have time to find Isho and Ryokyogu, you know, so there was a while there where they didn't have, like, as many admirals, okay, so they didn't really have time to do anything anything crazy until they rebuilt, okay? Remember, right after the 2-year time skip ended, when Robin got back to Sabaody, the government agents were there looking for her. They ended up capturing the fake Robin of the fake Straw Hat crew, believing it to be her. I don't know how they could make that mistake being an intelligence operatives, but whatever, what are you gonna say? Remember also, Robin was with the revolutionaries for 2 years on Baltigo, and they did not know where Baltigo was. The world government, it was like a mystery island. They didn't know where it was. So it would make sense why it's only just now, like 13, 14 years since the Enies Lobby arc. Actually, you know what? I want you to understand how happy I am that I have this bookshelf back here, okay? Because if I talk about a scene in One Piece that I want to reference with the manga book that is along with that arc, I can just do this. Let's see, Enies Lobbies, of course, volume 44. And there we are! I look crazy there. But look at that! Look, see how easy that was! I'm so happy! Oh god, Robin is such a badass on this cover, too. This is one of my favorite ones. Volume 44, man, all the way. You got Robin right there in the center. You got Lucci and Luffy going at it. Alright, there you go. At any rate, you know, it was so long ago, but it makes sense that the government, like, okay, so she was with the revolutionaries for 2 years, they didn't know where she was, then she popped up again, but they captured the fake Robin instead. Took them a while to figure out that mistake. Actually, I want to see that. I want to see the moment where those Cypher Pole agents, I'm guessing that's who they were, like Cypher Pole 7 or whatever, dragged Robin back to Marie-Joie or Marineford or wherever. And it's like, we captured Nico Robin. He's like, oh my god, that's incredible, great. The government can finally, you know, locate the One Piece. We can decipher the road poneglyphs at long last, or we've captured the person that can decipher them. I'm assuming the government, well, can the government decipher the road poneglyphs? I'm assuming they could. I mean, probably Eam could read poneglyphs. Like, I don't know if any of the other members of the Marines could. I'm actually planning a video on that, something else that's kind of related to this video, but not really. If the Marines and the world government are actively looking for the One Piece. You know, pirates are all looking for the One Piece, but you think the world government would also want to get their hands on that? And if they're not, why are they? Maybe, I mean, why aren't they? Maybe Eam, like, knows what the One Piece is, but he doesn't want anybody to find it. So that's why he's maybe blocking it. Who knows? That's why they also want Robin, you know, and also the ancient weapons as well. Can't overlook that, because the whole reason reading poneglyphs is a bad thing is, yes, you discover the Void Century, and that's not great, but also it tells you where the ancient weapons are and how to, like, control them, probably. And so, you know, that's another, you know, thing there. So it took them a while, like they dragged fake Nico Robin in front of the Marines or whatever, and they're just like, we captured her! Awesome! You guys are fired! Just like they see Coco, who was the fake Robin, and like, oh my god, so that took a while for them to like, alright, well, where is she? I don't know. They were at Fishman Island, I guess. Now they're not there anymore. And the Straw Hats, you know, they went to Punk Hazard, which wasn't even an island originally. That was like the log pose. You know, Smoker thought they were going to go to Raijin Island, so they got off the trail there. You know, they were in Dressrosa for a little while, but that was locked down by Doflamingo, so the government really couldn't communicate with them. And then they just went to, Robin just went to Wano, well, they went to Zoe, which is another phantasmal island, and then went to Wano, who's not allied with the world government right after that. So if you look at the Straw Hats' journey, it makes sense why Lucci and the CP0 are just now realizing, okay, we finally definitively know where Nico Robin is, we're recovered from the war, we have our manpower back to where it needs to be, now we can resume capturing her, okay? She is the key to all of it. Not just to the world government either. The world government acknowledges how freaking dangerous Robin is to every major party in the One Piece world right now. Like, literally, this is how important she is. She's important to the world government. She's important to the Straw Hats. She's important to all the other Yonko. She would also be, you know, tangentially, you know, important to all the supernovas as well, like Kid and Law and everybody. Because here's the thing. So many pirates, the Yonko, you know, most notably, but so many strong pirates out there are looking for the One Piece. In order to get to the One Piece, you gotta get to Laugh Tale. In order to get to Laugh Tale, you need to get the road poneglyphs. How do you read poneglyphs? Oh wait, only Robin can do that. And maybe only like a handful of people out there in the world. Pudding might awaken her third eye at some point. There might be somebody in Wano, like a member of the Kozuki clan, that could read them. You know, Odin could read them. Maybe a Gorosei or Eam could read them. But it's a very, very limited supply of people that can actually read poneglyphs, okay? So she's important to everybody. And the world government wants to... Honestly, I think it said in the last chapter, Rob Lucci just said, you know, capture Nico Robin, implying that maybe Eam wants to speak to her or the Gorosei want to talk to her. Because otherwise, otherwise you'd feel the world government would just issue an execution order, like alive or dead. Like, if you can bring her in alive, okay, great. And I know that says it on the wanted poster, you know, alive or dead. It's not like an only alive thing like with Sanji. But the point is, like, he said specifically capture her. So that, you know, raises some questions there. Now, Robin, you know, she already had her major fight with Black Maria in this arc where she went into her devil form, which is incredibly badass. I don't know if she's going to be fighting much in any, like, major capacity now, considering Brooke is kind of there to kind of help her out. You know, she was running last chapter, but I think it was Brooke that was mainly doing all the fighting. She was knocked unconscious a little while there. She was very drained from going in her devil form, but she seems like okay right now. Like, she can maintain it pretty okay. So I don't know how this is going to go exactly with Robin, because you'd feel like, okay, if the world government, and I made a video about this last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? I don't even remember anymore, but the video where, okay, the world government's going to forcibly open Wano, and there's a few ways they could do that. But I said in that video that the government has to have a lot of manpower surrounding Wano. It can't just be like 5 ships and a couple dozen, not even like a couple hundred soldiers. Like, you're literally going up against an entire nation of samurai. You know, there's a reason why Wano was not allied with the world government up until now. You know, probably because it would become a massive war. You would have to get all of the vice admirals together to basically wage war with this entire country of ridiculously strong samurai, in order to take over Wano. And so the only reason they're doing it right now is because, like, okay, the chaos of this battle, if Kaido were to lose, the power structure of Wano would be completely wiped out. Most of the samurai are starved to death by Orochi at this point, and all of the samurai that could fight would probably be severely injured or dead from the battle with Kaido right now at Onigashima. So this is the perfect and probably last chance the world government would have at taking over the island, but they still have to send a lot of manpower to make that happen. So they might literally divide them into teams. Like, most of the manpower, I believe, would be other Cypher Pole agents or government agents or Marines that they could spare, maybe the SSG. But I think it would actually make the most sense to send all of Cypher Pole Zero. Maybe not every single member. We don't know how many members there are, but, you know, split Cypher Pole Zero and basically, like, okay, you guys are the leaders of the Recapture Wano initiative, and you over here, like, these 5-6 members of Cypher Pole Zero are in charge of capturing Robin. The ones that are in the indestructible reception room right now, they might be part of that group because they're already there, right? Or rather, while the ships that are surrounding the island, the government ships, launch their cannons to announce that, like, they're there, that's when Cypher Pole Zero shows up and captures Robin or whatever. Now, here's the question. Would Robin get captured in this arc? You might say that's kind of retreading a few things here. I will say just this, though. Okay, in Thriller Bark this happened when the Straw Hats were just captured, you know, they weren't fooled, well, they were kind of fooled, but they weren't like, you know, when Sanji left, he did that of his own accord, he was coerced, but it wasn't like Beiji, like, captured Sanji, wrapped him up, chained him up, and then brought him with him back to Totland. Sanji agreed to go with Beiji to Totland. When Robin went with Cypher Pole Zero, not Cypher Pole 9, you know, CP9, the first time, once again, she was coerced, but she did it of her own free will, sort of. You know, they didn't actually capture her physically. She went with them willingly, okay? So it would be a little different. It wouldn't be the same thing with Enies Lobby or the same thing with Totland if, you know, Robin right now is very weak after going into her devil form. We don't even know how she could fight right now with her devil fruit powers. I mean, she might not be able to summon as many limbs or whatever. And Cypher Pole are strong. Like, those Cypher Pole agents in the reception room right now, they're probably not as strong as Lucci or whatever, but they're still pretty damn strong. They're the strongest agents in the world. So it might be possible. Like, everybody is defeated, including Kaido and Big Mom. Luffy and everybody are wiped out. They're tired. Zoro is beat. You know, it's just like we're all celebrating, and then all of a sudden Robin just disappears. And it's like, holy crap, where's Robin? And then Cypher Pole jumped in because the Cypher Pole haven't been fighting this entire time. They're rested. They're at full power. So they sneak up on Robin, and Robin might have a little bit of observation hockey or whatever. I mean, I think it would be really cool for her to have armament as her specialty because, I mean, come on, it would be devastating. But even if she senses them coming, she's like, oh crap, they're trying to sneak up on me. I'm gonna use my devil fruit to, oh, I'm so weak, I can't use it because of the devil form. And Cypher Pole just grabs her, chains her up, and brings her, Sea Prism Stone, and then brings her away. And maybe the Straw Hats have to defeat Cypher Pole, like, right there before they leave Wano or something. It's like a race to capture Robin. It'd be a little bit of a weird thing to do that right after this. Okay, we just fought against Kaido and Big Mom, 2 Yonko, we bam, bam, why am I so... I have to be used to, like, expressing it like this. Bam! Bam! Yeah, there we go. Kaido and Big Mom are defeated, and now, okay, everything's good. Robin's captured! What are we gonna do? You know, so it would be crazy to do that. I mean, there'd be a lot in the arc, but once again, after this arc, we're kind of just going right into the final saga of One Piece. I'm not saying she would be captured and the Straw Hats would go after her, like, for another story arc, but Cypher Pole Zero might capture Robin and then try to get her out of Wano, and the Straw Hats recapture her before they could, you know, get to the ship. And it's like, okay, Robin is saved, but the government really, really wants her now, so now we have to be super careful, right? But anyway, yeah. That's the video. Robin is pretty much the key to all of this. We've already, I mean, most of you that have, you know, that are true fans of this series should have known that a long time ago. But yeah, Robin is the key, and we'll see where this goes with CP0. But even if they manage to make it out of Wano while eluding CP0, they're going to be on the Straw Hats' tail. Because the government has kind of gotten to a point where it's like, it's done with this shit. It's like, no, we're capturing Robin. You got away from us? Okay, we're following you to wherever you go. We are the world government. We have eyes everywhere. We will find you. We will capture her no matter what. We will throw as many admirals and vice admirals as we have to, because she needs to be brought in, because she has the ability to read poneglyphs and she could revive the ancient weapons. And we're getting into the point in the story where all these Yonko, all these pirates are becoming super active. The race to Laugh Tale is nearing, and it's like, this is it. I'm sure Eam is aware of the same prophecy that Odin and Roger were aware of, so it's like, no, we were playing games for a few years there, but we're done. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised, and this has been something that has been debated for so damn long. You know, Grand Line Review, Liam, he made a whole video about this. What is Robin's true bounty? Like, what should her real bounty be? And he knew what was up, because I think he put, I forget, it's been a while since I saw that video, but I think he put Robin's bounty at well over $1 billion, which it should be, you know, like, she has the ability to summon ancient weapons, and, like, nobody else in the world, like, that doesn't work for the world government could do that, pretty much. So, pretty essential, right? So it might be a crazy thing where, after this arc is over and the Straw Hats get their new bounties, it's a thing where, of course, Luffy and Zoro and Sanji's bounties, Jinbei's bounty, it's going to shoot through the roof. But it might be a thing, like, I think I went overboard when I think I made a short video where I talked about what I think Luffy's bounty is going to be, and I think it was going to be like, you know what, screw it, 5.6 billion, a little bit higher than Roger's final saga of One Piece. Maybe after Luffy truly becomes the Pirate King, then he'll get, you know, like, you know, even higher than that or whatever. But the 56, because Gamu, that makes sense. But Robin's bounty might be like 3 billion, 2 billion. It's like, we're done with this. We're capturing her. 3 billion bounty. Maybe the government kept it low, so it's like they don't want to admit how, because when they put the first bounty on Robin, she was a little kid. So she was like 8. So they were like, okay, 79 million bounty on a little kid, because, you know, she was a survivor of Ohara. They didn't want to directly tell the world, hey, the government screwed up and could not capture a little girl, you know, and she can read poneglyphs. So they came up with another excuse. All right. And so for most of the life, they didn't want to admit how important she was. So that's why they kept her bounty like, okay, it's relatively low, but still high enough that she is wanted if they get her brought in. But now the government's going to be like, no, we don't care anymore. 3 billion. It's 3 billion. She can read poneglyphs. Bring her in. Okay. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I did. Everything's coming along piece by piece here. I got these. I got these nice little, like, string lights, band lights. I don't know what they're called. Ultra long. Whatever. They're lights that go on the walls there. I'm going to kind of go up through that way and maybe on this little side thing right here. I also was thinking about maybe putting some hooks up there and putting Muro Kumogiri, and maybe I have to figure out a place to put Yoru and all my swords and everything like that. It's going to be nuts. I do have a sword rack for Zoro's katanas that's over there. I have to put that together. But mostly, the only thing I have left to put together is the backdrop for the videos, for the studio when I do my reviews, you know, which is this Sunday coming out. Oh, speaking of, I was featured on the One Piece subreddit. somebody put a picture of my old room and was like, I'm gonna miss this place. And it was got a bunch of, like, last time I checked this morning, it had like over 7,000 upvotes on Reddit. So thanks to everybody on there. I read such kind things. And I know you guys miss the room. I know you do. I do too. I mean, that was the room I grew up in my entire life. Literally, as soon as my parents brought me home from the hospital, that was my baby room that had, like, the crib in it and everything. And then, you know, later on it became, you know, my just normal room, you know, got my bed in there and everything. That was the same bed I had ever since I was, like, 4. You know, that was my room, and I miss it. But I really, really need more space. Like, you do not, like... I tried to make it look as nice as possible when I did the videos, but there were so many problems with that room. When we took everything out of that room, I left the bed there and like a closet. I took my desk, I took the dressers and everything. But when we were taking everything out of my room, there was so much dust under like the furniture, because there was like an access hatch to our bathroom that's behind one of my walls. Just had a giant hole in it that you just never saw, that was like this big, because it was like a dresser in front of it where there was like piping, like exposed piping for the bathroom, but that also meant like mice and stuff could get into my room. We moved one of my closets, and under the closet, I don't know how this is feasible, but like the closet like was like this on the ground, and when we moved it, there was mouse poop just all along, and I'm like, how did the mouse get in there? It was like on the... I don't get it, but like as I was moving everything out, there was so much dust and wallpaper peeling. I was just looking at the room, and I took pictures of it. I could show you the pictures. It's kind of disgusting. I mean, my mom's cleaned it, you know, but like... God, it was disgusting. And as I was moving, I was like really, really nostalgic. Like, I can't believe I'm moving out of my room. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, how long was that there? Oh. So, yeah. But I'm going to get my bedroom framed. Don't worry about that. I took a picture of it before I left in pristine condition, as you all remember it. And I'm going to get that framed and put it up back here. Or maybe I'll keep it right here for a little while, just as a memory of the days of the beginning of the Tekking101 channel. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, everyone. Thanks for being featured on subreddit. That was really cool. Yeah, you all have a great day, and I'm going to get back to it. Just have to put up this backdrop and a sword rack and some other stuff over here. We're moving along at a good pace. You guys have a good night. Tekking and Barry, signing out.